Early on, we sat down with Dr. Green, who helped us understand what vitality is, and he is back to share some practical steps on how you can unlock and enhance your vitality. And I know that we've got 5 steps. That includes nutrition, obviously, movement, sleep, stress management. Please, let's unpack all of that.
Absolutely.
Let's start with diet. That's a big one, right?
Yes, I think the role of food in our lives is something we need to understand and really, really define. Some people eat for enjoyment. They love the sensation. They love the crunch. They love the taste. They love making food. It's all part of their nature.
Yeah.
But what we should be doing is seeing food and nutrition as the petrol, or the fuel rather, that fuels our engines to perform the activities that we do every day and we love doing every day.
How do you make that distinction, though? You know, you were mentioning crunch right now, and I really resonate with that, because a lot of the unhealthy foods that I enjoy, I notice that psychologically I love the crunch of it.
Texture,
and yet I know that it's not entirely healthy.
Yes.
So how do we make that switch where we know that, listen, perhaps the yogurt, like the taste of, you know, something smoother is better than the crunch?
Ah, I get what you mean. Well, there are 2 ways to view it. You could find healthy options for the crunch, like while you
crispy broccoli,
lettuce, crunching into that lettuce, picturing the water with its cells being released into your mouth to hydrate you and give you those minerals. You know, it's about visualizing the health benefits of what actually happens. So it's like reprogramming your brain.
I like that, actually.
It doesn't taste like Simba chips, though.
But it still has the crunch.
But it has the crunch.
I like that.
And then you mentioned, obviously, some good things there, like, you know, like we made a smoothie, for example.
Yes.
Understanding that the gut health and what we call the microbiome is an environment with living organisms. The balance of those organisms control how all the food we consume is absorbed and stored and utilized in the body.
Yeah.
So you've heard words like probiotics, which are the good bacteria. But they need to feed on something, and we need to feed them with prebiotics, which are the fuel sources that look after the probiotics, so they can actually live and live long to ensure good absorption in the gut.
And we need both of them.
So you need both of them. So yogurt's a good source. Then there are some seeds.
Is yogurt a probiotic?
It's got probiotics and cultures. You'll read on the container, live cultures, for example. And that, along with, obviously, good choices regarding things like fiber, that are important to help digest food and move it along.
That's like the linseeds, right? And the flax seeds we had in the
wonderful.
In the smoothie.
Things like oats and whole grains are important instead of just refined white bleached flour, which is not great for the gut in terms of inflammation, as well as people with gluten sensitivities.
Yeah.
So things like chia seeds and other seeds, for example. And then with the flavors, people that love flavors, you've got cinnamon, for example, which regulates blood sugar levels and helps you have less spikes of your sugar and less hunger cravings. So you stay, obviously, then a little bit fuller for longer, combined with proteins, which you also have in the yogurt and milk products, for example.
So I love what you're saying, Doctor. You're saying when you eat your food, visualize what is this contributing to my system?
Food is medicine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if it's not, then medicine will become your food. I love
we don't want that, but we want the food to be your natural booster.
Yes.
And so
your source of vitality.
100%.
What else is a source? Let's go to what are you going to go to, sleep or movement? You choose.
Yeah, let's go to movement first.
Okay, movement.
So we've all heard sitting's the new smoking.
Yes.
So inactivity leads to many health problems, leads to mental disturbance from being confined in a space, maybe gaming or watching TV all the time, for example. You need some variation and you need to stay active. Sitting on a couch for hours and hours leads to your joints becoming stiff. Your cartilage is not challenged with weight-bearing exercises to maintain keeping it lubricated and good blood supply to it. So you end up with joint issues down the line as well. But in terms of sitting itself, if you think about aging and mobility and functionality, you can't expect your body to produce just like that if what you're doing most 80% of your time isn't preparing for, you know, your normal day-to-day activities. So that's when you have injuries, because you overload a system that's not prepared for that load in an emergency situation. I always challenge people. I say, if one of your family members were drowning, will you be able to rescue them?
For me, sleep is so vital in terms of my vitality. If I don't have a good night's sleep, I simply just do not feel good the next day.
100%. So we all need about 4 to 5 sleep cycles, which ideally are about 90 minutes, 45, 90 minutes each. What you need to realize is that if you have broken sleep, it's not just as easy as catching up. Sleep debt is a real thing.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean that if you now sleep the 2 hours you lost last night that you're going to feel and be back physiologically where you were.
It needs to be within that cycle.
The big things are making good decisions leading up to sleeping time. In other words, the downtiming at night, like you do with a newborn baby, dimming the lights, noise down,
setting the tone,
getting that routine. We as adults need exactly the same thing.
Yes.
And decisions around stimulants are our biggest challenge. We use alcohol sometimes, which is often a social interaction, and that can affect your snoring. It can affect the quality of your sleep. It's a diuretic. It makes you get up to go to the toilet, which breaks your sleep cycle.
Yeah.
Don't drink loads of fluids before going to bedtime. You're going to have to empty your bladder.
Okay.
Dark room, a good temperature room, good quality bed. Choose your partner wisely.
Talking about that, I want to speak about hydration. Hydration and relaxation is important as well, right?
Good, yep. So hydration is the basis for many different processes metabolically in the body. Ridding your body of toxins is dependent on having enough water in your system.
Yes.
So the good old drink 8 glasses of water a day is a very good starting point for most adults. Average weight in females of about 60 kilograms, in males above 65 kilograms. So that's just the minimum amount. Depending on your activity levels, you might need more than that because you have ongoing losses of fluids. When you exercise, you perspire, for example, and when you go into hot conditions, etc., or saunaing, you might need more.
Okay.
So understand that. That combined with the balance of electrolytes, the salts, the sodium, potassium, the chloride ions are crucial for
Where do we get that from?
That you get from food.
Your okay.
Yes, but not excessive amounts of sodium, for example, which is salt. The fluid balance with the electrolytes control things like your blood pressure, for example. So not consuming too much salt.
Okay.
And knowing the hidden sources of salt in your diet can save you from cardiac disease, for example. Processed foods, processed meats, cheeses, etc. Be aware of that so that you can quantify it properly and combine it with the right amount of fluid.
Dr. Green, thank you so much. And I know that when we put all those pillars of health into place, we will have what's called optimal stress management, which is where we all want to be. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I hope that you found these insights helpful and that they inspire you to take action towards a healthier, more vibrant you. Stay tuned because a little bit later, Chef Jay will make a one-pan lemon and olive chicken packed with vitamin C and antioxidants.